Right, Perihelion, the intro section, this stuff, turn out. There's no bass part in any of this. The bass doesn't really kick in until the main riff after the drop, so it goes like... The bass kicks in there. So, the bass part, it's switches between playing distorted and not distorted. During the main, like I guess what you call like the chorus riff, it's all kind of fuzzed, so it's kind of if I just mute that, if I just play the bass on its own, it's just that kind of sound. It's like quite round with a bit of hair on it, and it's just repeating that riff, which is I play it high up on the neck. I don't use the fifth string on this. I'm playing up here, so I'm playing. So it's just what fret is that? 9 and 12. Like that. Like that. And then when it didn't mean to do that. When it gets to the first verse, switches to, it's playing exactly the same thing, but it switches to a clean sound, so the bass sounds like this. And it goes to the verse. There, just takes the distortion off, and it's quite a round kind of sound. There, and that's where it changes for the second half of that sort of beginning of the verse, and it follows the guitar chords. It's it goes like so we need to just cut the distortion off of this. So it's going. So it does like that, which is 12, 11, and 7. And then it just stays on the 7. It's going. It's the same rhythm that you were doing that, but all on one note. And it does the same little rundown when it goes back to the 9. And what happens is it does that twice, I believe, but the second time it doesn't do the when it goes to that note, I think. Let me check. So that's the first time. And there, you kick the distortion back on there. See, it goes to there. Kicks the distortion on to this bit. And then it, yeah, that's it. So at the end of the bit where it's distorted, you don't do that run down. It just goes straight to that note. So it goes. So you're playing with distortion. It's like you just turn it on. I can't switch sound while I'm practicing because it's all set up on my digital rig. But I can give you a little thing. It's like so you're playing with distortion like this, and as soon as it goes to this note, you just kick the distortion off. And then distortion back on again. And then I think from that, it does that whole thing twice, and then there's another bit. So let's just run through that so that you get where the all the bits with the distortion without are. So it comes. So this is the chorus that's playing. So we go into the first verse. Rays from the handset. Zero gravity. There's no distortion here. About handhelds is well known for the night. And you do the little rundown and it's still clean. And run down and then kick the distortion on. Now no rundown and kick the distortion off. Run down and kick the distortion on. And then distortion's off here, and it's a different part. It's going, so with the distortion off, it's going like that, I think. Yeah, and when you get back to, after it goes, then you kick distortion back on again there. So that whole bit, you'd have the distortion off, and you'd be like, distortion comes back in on this riff, and then it does it again, kicks the distortion off and goes, wherever it is that note. Let's just check it. So it goes, yeah, that's it. So, and but on the second one, so the second time it does that, stops there, and you'll hear the guitars do like a harmonic when the bass stops. It goes and then back to, and it's the chorus. So here, so for that rundown, you'd have the distortion on, and then it kicks the distortion. Sorry, you'd have it off, and then it kicks the distortion back on again when the chorus drops. So if you listen, it goes. If I put the guitars in as well. Bloody hell, there's a lot of guitars in this project. So it's going like so the final rundown, it's clean, and then it's on again there, and that's the whole of that first verse basically. Then for the next section, where it's verse 2, so it gets to the end of this chorus, which is half the length of the intro chorus. I think the intro's 16 bars and this one's 8, so there's no bass here at all. Erase from the far. Bass comes back in there, and it's distortion on, and it's doing that, just the standard thing, and then it stops again for the second half of that, where it's going here. Erase from the handset, erase from the file, god damn, and it drops in again there with the distortion on. And then from here you kick the distortion back off again, and it does those rundowns, so it goes distortion on, and then distortion off, and then that's where the verse 2 ends. And the only difference is you stop in exactly the same place, it's just the guitars don't do that harmonic, they go into like a re-intro thing, so it sounds like there. So that little hit on the drums actually is where the harmonic used to be. And it goes into a re-intro, and this whole bridge re-intro-y section has no bass on it at all. It's all exactly, if I fast forward it, it's all exactly the same as the intro. So you come in there again with the distortion on and just play super heavy. And it's the same length as the intro, 16 bars. So that's the only change, is when it gets to the 9th bar, so halfway through the outro. The rhythm of that riff just changes slightly, so instead of going, it goes like that, and the song ends just on a dead stop basically, so the last run of it is there, so it's just ends on that note and just like kills it. And that's it, and then the guitars just do some funky outro thing. And that's the whole song, it's all just like that, basically. Real simple. Good day to you.